Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Dave, the Tabletop Wanderer, and I hope you are all enjoying yourselves. I hope you are all doing good. And today what I thought about was, okay, we finished up our Cairn second edition adventure, and like I said before, I was thinking about doing a adventure with Crud the Barbarian, but since John Fredricks from Sharp Mountain Games, go check him out, he came out with this little banger of a game. I thought, okay, I have been planning to do some Shadow of Alnor Season 2 stuff, so what better way than to get right into it with John's Streamlined Superheroes. I did a quick look about of it on the channel a couple of days ago, so go and check that out. And today what we are going to be doing is we're going to be creating our character. And if you haven't seen Shadow of Alnor before, go and check it out. The playlist is in on the channel, and I'll leave a link in the description. I'm sorry, it's Saturday morning, it's really hot here, and we didn't sleep hardly anything because there was a major fire next to our house. Everything's okay, everything's cool, but yeah, hardly any sleep, and I can't get to sleep. So here we are with my brain literally melting. If you haven't seen, like I said, the Shadow of Alnor, go and check it out. Okay, link will be in the description. There's also a playlist on the channel, so go and have a look at that. I had fun using that. And the Shadow of Alnor, oh God, is set in my fantasy world of Darwin, okay? And Alnor is the capital city, the major city of Darwin, or this region of Darwin. Cairn second edition playthrough with Letter and Light and Beric, that's also from Darwin, but on a different part of the map, and hopefully I can get the two of them all, linked up together. And this also started off with my Black Flame my Black Flame Society saga, which was the first major playthrough I did on the channel, and everything is based in happening in Darwin, okay? And Alnor is the major city of Darwin, and I have this little map here that I used on the Shadow of Alnor, and here you can see all the districts of Alnor. So you got the Ironforge district, which is home to the sort of the dwarves and stuff like that, we got the Great district, which is outside of the walls, the Clay Market, Eastgate, and then you have Stonewall district, which is sort of a hub for everyone. The Tinkerer's quarters, where you get all your little, your goblins and your halflings and stuff like that. The Harbour, which is self-explanatory. The Government district, right here in the middle, which oversees everything in here, and Greenwood district, which is also like a major hub for all the other species or races, whatever you want, which includes the Mage guild in here somewhere. I can't remember, I think it was around here, that we saw on the Shadow of Alnor on the Season 1. And so we will be using Alnor once again, because it is the Shadow of Alnor, and the Shadow of Alnor is this fella right here. His name is Killian Silverwood, and I made this character using Delves and Dangers, which I should have had. I should get, give me a second, I'll get it right now, because I really do like the game. And I like to plug it whenever I can, because it is worth it. It is a really good game. And so, right here, Delves and Dangers. This is my personal printed copy. You can get this from itch.io as a pay what you want. So you can throw Mage Hammer a couple of bucks, or if you want to just download it for free to try it out, download it. And then I went ahead and I made this print out on Lulu. So I have a nice little hardcover with it, for it, which I really do enjoy. And Killian, I used Delves and Dangers for Killian's first big adventure. And he is a sort of a vigilante sort of dude. He is a dark elf, and which by day he is a scribe in one of those archives in Alnor, and by night he fights crime. Yes, he does. And I thought, okay, what better way than to grab Killian and transpose him. I'm saying transpose, I don't know that's how you say, but I know in music you transpose. So yeah, transpose Killian Silverwood to Streamlined Superheroes. So that's what we are going to be doing today. Okay, I'll leave Killian right here so you can all have a look at him right next to Johnny. Sorry about that. And let's get into it then. So Streamlined Superheroes, it's what the name says, it is streamlined. So we're going to have 4 attributes, okay? Strength, dexterity, intelligence, and charisma. So we'll start off right there. I'm just going to try and do this like this so everything can be in frame. So let's do Killian. So Killian Silverwood, we know who he is. He is the Shadow of Alnor. The Shadow. Just do that. He's the shadow, but he is the Shadow of Alnor. But when he's away from Alnor, he's just the Shadow. Everyone in Darwin knows there's this vigilante called the Shadow, and they say the Shadow of Alnor because he was first sighted in Alnor, and that's where he mainly operates. It doesn't mean that he doesn't go out to other zones, right? Because you never know. This adventure might actually take him to Alcliff, or maybe Durgrim's Hold, or who knows, down to Elderstone Range, or Fallfort, or Coast Rock, you know. Go and check out the Black Flame Saga, and you'll see all those little towns, basically all in an adventure also. So let's go. Strength then. We got strength. We got dex. We got intelligence, int, and charisma. Okay, so what we are going to do here, we have to give him his points. So let's take a quick look at that. So where is that? He's a sample player. I know this. I know it's here somewhere. Character creation. Here we go. I knew it was there somewhere around here. Assign the following ratings to the 4 attributes: strength, dexterity, intelligence, and charisma. However you like. 3, 2, 1, and 0. So we're going to be using 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. And I'm going to say that Killian, from what we've seen before, he's not very strong. He is very agile, though. Like you can see here, he has an agility of 3 and a mind of 2. So I'm going to say that 3 here will be dex, and then 2. Should we go for intelligence or charisma? Because he's a scribe, so that's where he gets a lot of his information is from his day job, we can say. I'll do intelligence of 2 and charisma of 1. His strength will be at 0. Okay. That's about what we can do now. And then we can get his effect dice, and the effect dice it's what it says. It's an effect. It's not skills. You don't usually. They're not really skills per se. They could be powers and skills, or powers or skills. Okay, characters have 4 powers or skills in any combination. Often they'll have 3 powers and 1 skill. The profession. However, you can easily have a character with 1 power and 3 skills, or 2 powers and 2 skills, etc., etc. Below are a list of possible powers and skills. Feel free to add your own or rename them. For example, ensnare could easily be webs. Okay, so using that, I'm going to see Killian's proficiencies that he has in Delves and Dangers. So he's got kindred abilities because he's a dark elf, and he can have he had a +1 die to hand crossbows and perception rolls, and he could use any one-handed weapon. Okay, doesn't really matter. And then let's see his profession abilities. He was streetwise, and so he'd get an extra die to stealth and investigation rolls. I think that would be pretty useful for Killian. He had opportunist, so if he if he surprised some fellas, he'd get extra points on that, and on outnumbered and surprised enemies. And larceny, so he was good at thievery, so he could steal stuff, right? I think streetwise that will be very, very important. So I'm going to say he's streetwise, and with streetwise we'll have the stealth, the investigation, right, and so could also englobe in here maybe, I don't know, some part of thievery, because if you are streetwise you do know how to steal a bit of things. So streetwise will do stealth, investigations, and possibly thievery. Yeah, let's do this. So this is just for me so I can remember. It doesn't, what I'm doing here, it doesn't really mean that if I use streetwise, it's going to be one of these three. It can be something else that I'll come up with, like on the fly. If I feel that it is, if it, fits into the streetwise. What else can we get now? I don't think, investigation should not be here, because we can get investigation here, and he can be, that could be one of his also professions, because he is in. Oh, he works in the archive. He's a scholar, not a scholar. What did I say he was? Oh my God. Investigation, and we'll put also detective work, stuff like that. Okay, we got that. Next, let's see. He has to be proficient with weapons, right? And I used sickles because I like the shape of a sickle. So we're going to say that he can slash. He's a slasher. Let's say he's a slasher. Okay, slasher. And that will be for his melee attacks. Okay, and last but not least, we get one more. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see. Opportunist. That could be in streetwise also. Perception. That will be in here. He did have a lot of gimmicks on him, right? Yeah, he did. He had smoke pellets, blinding powder, a glass cutter. Yeah, maybe we can do something. He's gimmicky. I think that's how you spell it. So, smoke bombs and stuff like that. Smoke pellets. Etc. So, as you can see, he's more of an active sort of dude, right? He's more of an action man. Action Man. Okay, so we got this here. Now we have to assign the dice for each of these. Okay, and I'm going to say that I don't want to put slasher with a D12. I'm looking more into one of these. Okay, gimmicky will be a D6. That'll be for sure. Gimmicky will be a D6 right here. Okay, and investigation D10 slasher D8. No, we'll put slasher as a D10. D10 right here. Now we need a D8 and a D12. I'm going to say D12 will be streetwise, and investigation will be a D8. There we go. Like that. And D12 will be streetwise. Don't worry, this won't be the final sheet. Okay, so don't worry. Now, if characters take body armor as a power or gear, they may add the maximum value of the effect die to their HP. However, they may not use their body armor in any other manner. For example, if they want protective flying body armor, they also must take the flight power. Here's a table to make it easier. So body effect die. Okay, we're not going to use any body armor. Although he does have armor, we are not going to use that. Character creates, and then John gives us a couple of sample characters right here, and then we get into the rules. So as you can see, in just a couple of minutes, we have created Killian for this playthrough, Streamlined Superheroes. Cool. I've seen I've seen all of John's playthroughs so far with Streamlined Superheroes. Go and check him out, and Mage Hammer, and also Solo Spelunking. And combat is pretty easy also. One thing though, and John is pretty cool, and he also messaged me and says, oh, if you got any ideas on some other stuff for the game, let me know. Okay, John, I got an idea about combat actually. Even though I've still been thinking about it, let me just get the combat. Okay, right here, combats. So what you need to do is you need to roll a d20, right, and then your effect dice. So 12, a d12, d6, a d10, and the d8, which is right here, right? So, okay, I get it. No, I already had a d10. Where's my d8? Right, there it is. Okay, so what we get here is, let me just do one little thing, because there we go. Okay, sorry about that. So you get your die, and then you roll your d20, and then whatever, imagine I want to do streetwise, so I get my d12, and you roll that, and if you get 10 or higher, that actually happens, okay? And that will affect whatever you're doing. So, surprise damage, assisting, okay. You need to know, one player character acts, the group may decide or go in descending, that's initiative. Surprise damage. On a successful hit or skill roll, subtract the result of the effect die from the opponent's hit points or the situation's hurdle points. Here's an example. Quantum Cat is trying to use his quantum leap power to teleport in and jump on an opponent. The Game Master asks for a dexterity roll. Quantum Cat has dexterity of 2 and an effect die of 10. His quantum leap power. The opponent has 10 HP. So he rolls a d10, a d20, and he gets, on the d20, the Quantum Cat got a 10. And he got a what was his? Quantum leap power effect of d10. So on his d10, he got a 2. right there. So 10 plus 2 is 12. He succeeds. Okay. Now, the effect die, he rolls a d10 and gets a 6. Oh, no, wait. He got a 10 plus 2, which is his dexterity, is 12, so he succeeds. On the effect die, the d10, he rolled and he got a 6. Right there. The opponent is down to 4 HP, so 10 minus 6 is 4 HP. And that's basically how combat works. You roll this, you got a 17, so 17, imagine, plus 3 is 20. He got a 20, and then with the d12, let's roll the d12, Killian would have hit for 9, or stealth-wise, he would have hit for 9, or, you know what I mean, okay? But for combat, I think I had this vision, so to speak, and I'm going to test it, okay? I'm going to see if it works. Even though I have Slasher here for D10, what I was thinking of was doing opposing rolls for Killian and enemies. And instead of going, okay, we could actually do this, and melee is the D10. I just had it in my hand. And Killian's getting attacked by, let's say, 2 thugs, okay? And we roll this, and he got a 4, but let's say he got a 19, and the effect dice was 3. So he'd hit one of them for 3. What I was thinking about was doing, how about we do opposing rolls? And that way, I think it will be, I'm not saying this is wrong. Don't get me wrong. This is my idea, to have something a bit more, how should I say, cinematic, right? And I could use this for other things. We'll see. But I'll just roll it here. Let's say, so Killian will be red, the enemy will be blue, and let's see. So blue, he hit, Killian missed, so Killian will take 1 point of damage. Okay, it doesn't matter what the effect dice is. And like 17, now Killian hits and they take 1 point of damage. And also imagine that Killian is getting attacked by 3, so Killian will continue to be the red. So imagine he's getting attacked by 3, and we roll that, and everyone succeeds. But because Killian, okay, let's say everyone succeeds, what happens here? Well, let's see. Imagine those scenes like in Batman where he's surrounded by 2 or 3 fellas and they're all attacking and he's just blocking everything and stuff like that. And then he also hits and they block and stuff. That's my idea of this, right? Like that. So imagine here. So the 2 thugs would hit Killian and he'd take 2 points of damage, right? And if there was more thugs, like, let me see. Imagine there was 3 attacking Killian, right? And he hit all 3, these 2, and this guy managed to defend himself. Like, I think that makes it more cinematic. Or actually, like with this, I could actually go in, okay, he's got a D10, I'm going to roll my D10 to see how much damage he does, right? To the guy that, like, hit for 2, or... I'm gonna look into it, but that's basically my idea of sort of a more, how should I say, cinematic version of combat, right? We just get a D20, or actually, like instead of a D20, each of them rolls their effect dice, right? Because I think we do have some characters here, right? Opponents, yeah. So exactly, instead of doing just that, let's just say, okay, we don't need the D20s for anything. Let's just go straight into the effects die, right? So Killian will have a D10, and let's see, we got Eon Ape. He has super strength, tree swinging, tough hide. So he's got super strength, let's say D12, and he gets a D12. I'll just use this one. Okay, so we'll roll both of them. And whoever gets the highest number does damage. Boom. There we go. And we could actually use subtract this. So 7 minus 1 is 6. And so the Eon Ape, because he's a major opponent, the Eon Ape takes 6 points of damage. Stuff like that. And then we roll again. So Eon Ape got 5 and Killian got 1. So 5 minus 1 is, but we'll just say that Killian, you know, depending on how much HP he's going to have, you can mess around with that. So hench people, a gun, a D8 and punching D6. Okay, let's say we're in close quarters. So we got a D10 for Killian and a D6 for the hench people with punching. Killian got a 1 and they got a 2. So Killian takes 1 point of damage. All right, stuff like that. Imagine there's more than one, okay? There's more than one. Let me get another D6. It could just be this one. Okay, so Killian got a 3, 5, 5. Killian takes damage. All right, and you know, I think I'll try it out. We'll try it out. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's basically it. You can see Killian right here. Pretty simple, pretty easy to roll up your character, and the game is pretty simple also, and very streamlined. And yeah, I'll see you all at the beginning of The Shadow of Alnor Season 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Links will be in the description for this and for other stuff, okay? You could also pop into Facebook and join my Facebook group and my Discord channel, okay? Where I post up stuff and, you know, we can have some nice conversations there. Have a great one, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.